Dick be clapping. What?
This
Alright.
started to very sus.
P. Diddy behavior nowadays, man.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, hey, welcome back
Hello.
to the Opinion Outlaws. It's the 8th episode of this season, and we have gone. We talked from various topics before we started this. So,
We are so warm right now.
so we are warmed up right now, and the last topic that we talked about was the effects of pornography, and we had a great guest that was from Africa, my boy. But then the topic started to go off from the pornography, and today we will be going now social media, pornography. Today we will go to gaming.
What do you think? How does this kind of make sense for us to go from dating? Of course, it makes sense from dating because currently porn does impact a lot of beliefs about dating. But what is the chain reaction? Like, what led us to talk about today about gaming?
Yeah. Well, basically, gaming, it has the same, I would say, implications of, not for the majority, but in the most cases, it has the same implications as if social media, as if in pornography, that it's some type of escapism type of thing.
So
It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I have enjoyed video games, but it was never like, I have to do all this work, but let me put some game on and then I will do it. No,
Yeah.
it was never like that.
so we are excluding basically gambling.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. Gambling is maybe a little bit different. I would say.
Hold on. How y'all got into gambling all of a sudden?
Yeah, but that's just because we were talking about games, so I figured that gambling is
Oh.
very closely related to it, right?
Yeah.
Russian roulette. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see who dies first.
Yeah.
The honest games.
And
Yes.
we are the generation who grew up towards when that big revolution started to come, that new games started to bring up, and we were the time that Nintendo was brought up, we were the time that PlayStation came up, and
Good taste.
Nintendo DS.
Nintendo
Oh,
DS, for
man, the
example.
Pokemon games, man.
And
Classic.
She was going crazy.
yes, sir. And we started to start to grow up with that. And I would say that I remember my first ever console was PlayStation 1, which, by the way, still works. Still works. And we had, you both know, we had those discs that were black. Like the cover, not the cover that it was, but the other side was black. They still work.
Premium.
They still work, bro.
Nice.
And it was, we were just talking with my brother about this, and he said, I don't know what you have to do. Like, you maybe die and they still work. Like, literally, they are so good. They are so durable. But the game was what it was. Like, it was very
Hey.
low pixels. It didn't have great
Hey,
framework. It didn't have
remember
great
back in the
mechanics.
Back in the days, it was HD, bro.
But
it was
it was-
highest quality you
it
could
was
get.
It
top
didn't
tier.
matter back then.
But it didn't matter, right? And today we will sit down and discuss more of like personal experience and how it has affected, I would say, the overall in generality. And we can also exclude it from like how maybe someone has experienced it. And for example, someone who is in that loophole where they're using the gaming to escape from the reality that they are. But I'm gonna start out by this, actually, to my friend Bagit. Bagit, the light man,
What?
the hope.
I mean, you know.
What's your experience?
With gaming, exactly.
Yeah, like how did it start? Why did you do it? Do you still do
How
it?
did it start? He's like,
This
the
is like,
events.
that is like Addicts
journey.
Anonymous, basically.
No, I'm just.
I'm Bahid, I am
not
25.
like
and
this.
I'm
the first game I've touched was back in the days in 2000.
Life changed, bro.
Hey, I mean,
But tell your experience.
I can't remember exact specific when I started playing games, but as a young kid, you know, you get intrigued by,
Of
oh,
course.
look at the pixel, look, oh shit, look at how things go. You know, you were interested in games to begin with when you were younger. So I don't really remember specifics, but I just remember I got into gaming somehow, and then the road just went from there. And when you were younger, the games were mostly just for pure entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And funny thing, because a lot of people tend to say games are just about escaping reality. Not really, because games also improve your, at least back then when we didn't have online games that much, it improved the problem solving and your
Yeah.
creativity to a
Yeah.
degree. Because I remember when I used to play a lot of games, it kind of like boost up the way I was like imagining things and figuring ways to solve some issues.
True.
So
Absolutely.
And vocabulary, for example,
Yeah.
it improves. So,
Ex-
yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I said, it's not for everyone that is escapism, but it has good implications to it as well.
Yeah.
So I play what I played. Of course, we went from like the combat games to like the racing games to the Tug Life, GTA, and all that. hey, gotta say what I gotta say, but we played them all, and
I'm a reference something. Oh shit! Here we go again.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Imagine, man, when you were underage on top of that shit.
Oh geez.
Shit. But like, yeah, summarize quickly to my experience. And what about like Puri, for
What's
example?
up?
Well, my first experience, I remember my whole family, we were gathered around TV and we had, I don't even know, it was maybe an older than Nintendo DS or something. I think it was Sega, if you remember that.
Sega.
Sega?
Yes.
Yeah, Sega.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, old as fuck.
Yeah, I never played it, but I know what.
But
talking about.
imagine as many pixels as possible on the screen, and you will get the idea.
Yeah.
Basically, I remember as a family playing the video game, and all of us having good time. And then second thing, playing with PCs, some Harry Potter games. I think like my first idea of it was okay. This means good time with my family, and it kind of started leading to okay, playing games is fun, and maybe from that kind of direction it kind of escalated. Okay, I really like playing video games, and I think something I really haven't thought it through that much because but I can say that the first time I remember playing video games was with my whole family.
Okay.
See, actually, now when I was listening to Puri, I remember when he said about family. The first time I actually started playing video games was back when we were living in Egypt.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was the first time because I remember my dad bought me Atari. It's a kind of like an old Japanese console thing. You had that laser shooting thing. The thing
Yeah,
where you shoot the
I-
dogs and
I-
stuff like.
I know
I
about
had
that.
that
I
game
know about that, yeah.
console back then.
Oh man.
Man,
That's crazy.
Did you ever play karaoke?
No.
We did.
that moment.
lot.
Did you play karaoke? Everybody like,
Do you know
oh,
why? Okay, I will not say.
Man.
All right.
I was saying something outlandish. No.
Okay, but anyway, so basically since my early childhood, we used to play a lot of video games, and my family would always gather around to play something,
Okay.
either board game or video game. Quite a
Okay.
lot. It's been a very social thing in our family, I think. But I want to say like Bahit said earlier something about that we always look the negatives of it.
Yeah.
Of it.
It's a
video-
tendency for.
yeah,
human
tendency
beings,
for all of us because nobody needs to really talk about
it
positive
creates
thinking.
violence. It
But-
creates craziness.
What?
I mean, what I tend to hear most of the time about video games, they become much more violent. They're lazy, blah blah blah. I mean, partially true about the lazy part, but the violence and so etc. Not so
Yeah.
much.
But I just wanted it just reminded me of like all the positive sides. Like my question, like, would you think that like us, would we have as good English skills if we wouldn't have had those video games in English?
I don't know because we, in my family, we used to watch a lot of movies and gaming. It was part of my life. I'm not denying that, but has it changed my vocabulary to a point where I can say that if it wasn't, I wouldn't be like this? I cannot say that.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it has improved my vocabulary and it has improved my the way I see. Like Bahit said, if you, for example, come to an issue and you want to solve it, you can use that imagination that you have to have in that video game. But if it wasn't, I still believe that I had a strong English and a strong Finnish, for example. Sly Cooper, for example, told me how to speak in a
Certain way.
certain way.
Yeah, we all know what he's still talking about, the virgin guy. Hey, but it's true. Like he said, like kind of same with me. I wouldn't say that the video games have like improved. Of course, later on when I started playing more of like an online type of game, then of course when you start meeting different nationalities and
for sure.
speaking with different like
Yeah.
different people,
For sure,
then
for
of course you gotta improve your language and step it up.
Yeah.
But majority of like learning has gone through like movies. Example,
Yeah.
Harry Potter, just like you said,
Yeah,
Harry
agreed.
Potter, whatever nonsense and so on. So video game mostly has been just to like entertain my imagination
Yeah.
and to a small degree also escape reality.
Uh,
What?
Uh,
Not admitting, but hey, it's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
I told a little bit my experience. So basically, I got my first console. It was a PlayStation 1, and it had the rally game, like the old school rally where, like, you cannot distinguish between asphalt and dirt.
Yeah,
It
I
was like
remember
that.
this. Remember
Like-
those days?
Like you just drive, and all of a sudden the car doesn't go as fast, and you were like,
Why
"Well, why?
not?
Why?" You get what I'm saying? As a kid, but that one, and then after that, it was the game called Bloody Roar 2. It was a fighting game, and it was fire.
Was it 2D or 3D?
It was 2D, or is it? No, it was 3D actually.
3D.
Yeah, it was a 1999 Japanese origin fighting game, which imitated so much like Mortal Kombat or
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. It was so similar to that, and it was fire, my dude. And the best part, it was because it had like the story, because you had to pick a character and then you play that character's story
Campaign of that.
campaign. It had such a short story that you didn't need to like have a chip. Like you know
memory
that
card.
you know that memory card.
Yeah.
You didn't need to. So it was like, I got this.
I
Got
might
this.
just pass all of them through, man.
You know what I'm saying? But then the memory card thing, after that, for example, Sly, when I started to play Sly Cooper, I had to have it because you couldn't just play as a child. Basically, you couldn't just play the game to a point where you finish the whole story in one go.
Without saving and etc.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
it takes you at least the last time we speed ran the Sly 2, for example, it took us about 6 hours, 8 hours, something like that. But we speed run, like we knew exactly what we have to do, where we have to go, how to do it. But it still took so long because of the fact that there's a dialogue and there's a movies and story to be told. You cannot just skip, for example, dialogue. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
And then I remember like when I was playing a Sly as a kid, and I tried to like speed run it, but then afterwards, every time I have to go back because I didn't have a memory card, I have to go back and then start over again. I was like,
Man,
nah,
that was
man.
horrible times. I remember PlayStation 2 and 1. Jesus Christ. PlayStation 3 was like the savior season when you
Yeah,
had the hard
facts,
drive.
facts.
That was. But actually, I wanted to ask you guys about, because you mentioned about the fighter game,
Yes, sir.
and I bet you flat play Tekken or Street Fighter or some game that requires like a
Fighting.
yeah. Have you played ever when you were young?
I don't remember exactly those kind of games. Usually
Super Mario, for example.
Super Mario.
Or
Well,
the
I do
Smash
remember.
Bros. Smash. What was it? Smash Bros.
Smash Bros.
No.
You haven't even played that?
No.
Have you played like a combat sport?
Yes, or Mortal Kombat sometime, I think.
Well,
Maybe.
for example,
If
the
I remember.
the reason why I want to bring those out is because what I mentioned earlier about games kind of like improving your creativity and also the way you like solve problems. Because those games required a lot of time for you to remember complicated combinations to do specific moves. So imagine as a kid you had to remember up, down, left, right, X, X, Y, Z, and do those in perfect combination in order for you to do a one simple move.
Yeah.
If you can
yeah.
imagine that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I
you,
tell like
you mean like those quick time events? or
exactly. Yeah, not even quick time. Example where you are playing like just a regular like versus game, and your character had a special move that you wanted to do, and you had
Yeah.
like the instruction on how
Oh
to
yeah,
do it.
yeah. I
And
remember.
you remember the combination was
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the complicated thing, but somehow as a kid you still
Oh,
like
yeah.
learned it
Oh yeah,
the
I do
hard way,
remember.
and you still like
Left, right, square,
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
Throw the controller 2 times.
Yeah.
exactly those things. That's
Yeah.
what I'm.
Did you guys ever play Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King?
No.
Actually, once,
Yeah.
but like I remember I played like in certain like parts, and after that I never like touched it again.
Yeah. I remember in that game there were moves you could buy after each level you have accomplished completed. So I remember they weren't that complicated, but there were still those kind
Oh,
of
boy,
things you
come to
needed to
Tekken, bro.
certain moves you had to do.
Yeah.
Come to
wanna do
Smash
that.
Bros,
Yeah.
bro.
And those were, for example, like Tekken. Was it that you had to also know how to react to a certain way, so it spiked your memory and spiked your reaction time, and that's why, for example, it had helped. I believe me and you, it had helped so much. For example, when we went to like actually combat sport,
Hey,
boxing or MMA.
we almost
it-
say X Y X Y
yeah, like,
X Y. Is it?
like basically it taught you also to react in a certain way and to know when to pull off and when to go up, and it is a great way of learning like these kind of things, but it can easily also go to that other side, which we will talk about in this episode.
And let's enjoy the good wave
But
still
yeah,
there.
we will
the
enjoy, we
Way
will
of
enjoy.
positivity,
Let's not
man.
ruin it.
I'm gonna ask you guys this then: what was the game that made you go, "Oh man, this is actually so good"?
Man, that's a good one.
As a kid, I'm talking about.
Okay, as a kid, I had like plenty of games. Like I can read like the Pokemon games. Bro, I was going
boy.
great. I was going ham on that, like the Emerald, the Pokemon, like the Yellow, whatever. Bro, I was going ham on those games. I would say the games that made me feel were much more later. Because
Okay.
I started understanding, like, example, dialogues and campaigns of certain games. So I got to appreciate the game much more further than just the base level that it gives off.
yeah.
Because it started being more like I immersed myself into the story. So I was like, okay, this is. But when I was younger, it was more about, flashy things.
Yes, sir.
Quick movement. Oh, shit, this is going crazy and so on. So I would say GTA one over there.
Oh my man.
Hey, come on, we gotta be honest.
Hey.
Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, no, but bro,
You stole mine. You stole mine.
Which one?
Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3, man.
Budokai
Even two.
Tenkaichi 3. Even 2 was fire.
GTA.
Hey, Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z,
Jeez, bro,
Budokai
you're
Tenkaichi
missing
3.
out.
I was playing a bit different kind of games.
Bro, that shit was
You-
going ham.
Like that was for me when I was kid. Like I had played GTA. Like yeah, it was a great game, but it was never like whoa. But when I played for the first time that Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and then afterwards 3, it was like wow, because it had such a good mechanics to fighting. It wasn't like like
2D
this.
type of like fighting.
It was more like 3D type of fighting, and it had such a great mechanics. And I don't know, have you seen it? Now they are making 4.
Bro, we know that. We up to date, bro. Up to date.
You have seen, you saw that those mechanics that were.
Bro,
They look very similar. I was like,
I'm
But
gonna
yeah.
go ham on that game. But actually, to that, one reason why Dragon Ball Z was clearly something closer to us than, example, GTA, was because of, like I said, why I got to appreciate certain games later on. Is example GTA. It's much more complex game. It had like a stories in a way that you might not understand as a younger person.
Yeah, facts.
Like what's going on? I'm just killing people. I'm just doing ta gangster, and that's it. You wouldn't understand the story that much. You were just playing it for the sake of playing.
For the sake of killing people.
Hey, exactly. So you got to release certain like fantasies of yours or like the intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
Intrusive thoughts. Hey,
Exactly.
that's.
GTA San Andreas.
San Andreas.
Hey, he's
yeah.
guilty too.
Yeah.
He was the black player as well. He was screaming, "Nigga, nigga!" I bet his ass was.
I have you guys a story about GTA. We were, this was later on in life. In my country, there is like a gaming centers where you can go and it's like 30 cents for 30 minutes. is so cheap. Like it's so cheap. You can go and people just play there all day. And now what happened was it was the time of Ramadan in my country. And usually in time of Ramadan happens that during the day people do work or they do nothing, and then during the night they go and blow some steam off and play, for example, video games. And there was a guy who played GTA, and he went to the strip club in the GTA, and he pressed the start button, like off, and then he went off. Like he was played, and he went off. The next guy who came,
Guilty.
he opened the console and pressed like start, because you don't know when you're press start, you don't know where you are at that moment. Press start, there's a naked woman dancing in front of you. And the guy says, "Oh, so that's how you doing, bro, in haram, bro. Yeah, that's like that, bro."
Sometimes that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Hey, we all guilty of that. We all guilty. What?
But yeah, so San Andreas was for you when you was a kid.
No. But that was one of those games definitely I played. But
Okay.
He was stuck that day, bro. I bet your ass. Repuri was like, "Hey, yo, what's up, man? Do that size, my nigga."
But I think like there were so many games. I think like the first games, of course, is the special one for me. I guess it was Harry Potter: A Goblet of Fire. I think
Okay.
for PC.
PC. That's crazy. I played it in Cube.
I think that was also kind of the first time I really this is kind of fun.
All right.
That was like a game. But I guess what really got me into playing was I had to really think. I think Lego Star Wars. Honestly speaking,
Yeah. Oh shit, I can do this in this game.
yeah, that was a really addictive game. I remember
Yeah,
playing.
that's fact.
Man,
That's-
that was a really great one.
That's why I'm always like bamboozled by the Minecraft game that is now. It's so like, yeah, you have to be, in a sense, you have to be that kind of creativity to have there, where you can produce any kind of object
Oh yeah,
in any kind of way. And it was interesting to see that, but for some reason I don't like that. For some reason I just don't like the Minecraft game.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. It just it just makes me go nah. So there's something about it.
Your boy was blasting that game as well, man. Like not that hardcore like some people were playing, but we did play that, local online and building together with homeboys and so on. So it was a fun game. It was a fun game. Not gonna lie, like it. Survival, do your shit. Oh, you want to mess up your homie's house? Feel free.
but I think like if I really now have to think about it, what was the game that really changed for me playing was actually Run Escape.
Run Escape.
Oh, the phone game.
No, not the phone game.
Wait, what?
PC, really old one. Run Escape. Run Escape.
Oh,
RuneScape.
yeah. Come over here, brother. Come over here.
You said run. I was like RUN. I was like, RuneScape.
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 Yeah, I was addicted as well
Hey,
to
brother.
that.
Hey,
It was
good that he said it, man.
Yeah, because it is. I had such a short period of that because I upgraded it in so many ways, and we had like 3 guys playing the same character. Think about the guys just went and upgraded everything.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like after that you didn't have any, and you found like loopholes there how to make money, for example.
I never did.
You didn't.
I didn't go for them. I just went.
I just remember you doing it.
Yeah, I did it because I found the loophole that it was basically to go and mine gold, melt that gold, make them into a ring and sell it.
Damn.
That was the whole point. Like that was the whole point. But
Strategy.
like think about, and then if you wanted to really get like ghetto, you buy all the gold with all the money that you have. You buy the gold, and then you take that gold, you make them in a ring, like because one gold bar is one ring. I'm talking about back in the days. I'm talking about like
He's telling you the strategy.
really bad. Yeah, because I was like calculating. Okay, what is the best way to make money? Well, it's not this. It's not this. It's not this. Like I don't. Like I don't want to spend 3 hours for 100K. Like stupid. That's stupid. So how do I do it? Well, I looked at it. I was like, well, the price of the ring is almost double to the price of the gold bar. So I just buy lots of gold bars, make them into a ring, which cost 1 gold bar, make them all into a ring, sell them all. All of a sudden, you are triple the worth that you were.
Man, you were playing Run Escape, and you were thinking how to get rich.
Hey, that's what I mean, man. The video games got you thinking.
But yeah, but the thing that Bahid said, it makes you actually think. That made me think that it's stupid. It's stupid that you spend, for example, 3 hours, for example, mining something, or killing, like, what are those animals there that you have, or people, to get a little money when you can use that same time in a more efficient way. But then afterwards, when that loop started to go and go on, it spread, and it got to a point where people knew about it, so therefore they upgraded it, and now it cost like 5 bars for one ring, and you were like, well, it's not effective anymore. So then you had to create a different type of
Yeah, but I guess in the point, what I did the things in a very slow way. One of the reasons being I didn't know. But second thing, I think there was a thrill in that because you had to work so hard on it.
Yeah.
That's what made it really worthy of it. And you would feel more proud what you were doing, even though it was a video game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's up. The proudness was like, you know, when you hustle
I
on
did
something
this.
for something for like 4 hours straight. Woo!
Do you know, I was so good at it. It happened to me that you remember that there was like a line where if you crossed, then it was free for all.
Yeah,
Anybody can kill you.
PvP.
Yeah, something like that.
PvP at that point.
And I remember we went with one of the guys. It wasn't my friend, but we met like in a certain place. And
Socializing 101.
yeah, and we went there and we wanted to hunt like bigger animals that were. And because the animals were so powerful, you had to be prepared. I was prepared to the max. He was setting me up. And do you know what's the worst part?
Trust issues.
He was setting me up. Afterwards, they all of a sudden came some 4 guys out of nowhere, and they started all attacking me with him. I killed all 3 of them. The one guy that came like the last one, he had the last hope. He hit me with it. I died. I was like, no.
There goes all my tools.
But basically, it was that I had, of course, I had that money because that loophole. But basically, it was that they all like gathered in order to take me down, but I took all them down. It was so like that was the proud moment. I was like, they had to come over to me with all this, and almost failed. Like, come at me.
Hey, that was the online gaming times, man. I remember it too, man, when I started playing more online type of game. Because, well, like we said, it helps you socialize better. Because you had to, like, if you wanted to come in, of course, you could be the silent guy who never uses mic, but
Well,
when you use that mic,
dungeoneering.
oh, my boy, have you played Call of Duty back in the day?
Which version?
Bro, name a one.
Any
version.
online.
Anyone that starts before 2011.
I don't think before 2011, but right after that.
Bro.
Like any online.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Bro,
Call of
shit.
Duty, MV3,
Like,
Black Ops.
If we're talking about the cancel culture,
The things that you hear there.
bro, racism was the smallest thing. Bro, the
The-
toxicity.
Once there was a guy whose name was Osama bin Lagging, and he just shouted Arabic like stuff, and you just listen to their like dying from laughter, and it was
The way people were harsh, like, you know, the bullying, you think about school bullying? Amp it up 3 times at least, minimum 3 times in a social. Oh, hey, but it was good times. It was good time, not gonna lie.
It wasn't for the soft one.
Pretty much, it wasn't for the soft one, and you had to be a tough skin because, you know, you get to hear all them jokes. Mama jokes. Everybody got it from there, man. Your mama so teet. Oh, what? You is a B. You is a B. Your mama is a B. You a weak player. Oh.
I have like there's Instagram. I found one video where they put like drop the craziest thing that you heard in a COD like Call of
Lobby.
Duty lobby,
Oh.
and there is just guys telling those things. I'm like, oh man, yeah, yeah.
It went dark, bro. But it was good time because, you know, you got to socialize with like people that you don't normally socialize with, like not your local people. And on top of that, it helped you create the thing that they push out very much nowadays in like workspace, that you need to have a teamwork ability.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you know how to
That's true.
communicate, do
Facts.
certain things with certain people, and on top of that, people that you don't really see face to face.
Yeah.
It's but just purely based on how you communicate. That's why when famous are like, why don't guys sit down? No. Bro, at least in video games, my nigga tells me exactly where he is and he need that revival. Not like, nigga, figure out where I am.
Facts.
Because, man, those games require like, hey, yo, bro, I'm down. Where? 6 o'clock point. Like, guys knew how to like communicate in a way that you like pinpoint where the motherfucker is.
I'm behind the barrels in the north side. I got you, bro.
I got you. I'm coming and so on, man. It was good times, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Like,
And there's always gonna be that one camper.
Oh,
hey,
for sure.
you always had to have that one weak link. you
That
always,
fucking pussy.
you always had to have that one weak link. But it was good time because I gotta be honest, I miss like those days because the socializing and the tactical thinking with
Yeah.
group that you are not directly friends with necessarily because
Yeah.
you know when you play with randoms.
Yeah.
Oh, you just prayed that they communicate or know how to play some way or so on.
And everybody has a good connection.
Pretty much. So, and do you remember back in when PlayStation 3?
Yeah.
It had like this one online like game that it was like it was Sony's own like an online game.
Yeah, like PlayStation
Home or some shit.
Home, something like that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty much like Sims,
Pretty much, bro.
but it didn't have like health bar or anything.
yeah, you could just like experience
Yeah,
the
that
world,
was-
and
That
it
was
had
actually that fire.
and it had like some games that Sony like has created and published and so on inside of the game that you could like test out, and you know as a virtual character, basically you were living a virtual life, bro. The socializing that I got to do there too, because that's what I mean about gaming. You get
You remember also? I don't remember but it was like a PC game, which was more like you can customize your character, either a man or a woman, and then you start to flirt with just.
Invu?
Was it Invu?
Most likely.
I don't remember.
Don't even ask me why I know these things, man.
I don't remember which game it was, but I remember I was like youngling and I was flirting with some. Maybe it was a dude. I don't know.
Game is game. Game is game, bro.
Like, if I'm being honest, maybe it was some dude. I don't know.
Hey, you were still practicing our moves, man. Game was game. Game was game.
But to the main question, do you guys still play?
No.
Sad part, like what he said directly, that's unfortunately nowadays no, for two reasons. Well, as you know, ever since my situation happened a few years back, my gaming motivation just went. And after that, if I play a game at maximum, I open it up, I'm in the main menu for a few minutes, then I just close the game.
Damn.
That's how bad it went. Like,
Damn.
And-
Now we have to get you back in the booty, I think.
but in between, I have like played certain games, just mainly for the story, and after that, I finish the game. That's it. I don't touch
Yeah.
games. Like I don't play for entertainment anymore that much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's other reason as well. The games that are being published nowadays have too much bullshit, too much modern wokeness integrated into it. So I'm like, is it worth it? Not really. So
Yeah.
I'd rather do something else.
And if you play any game nowadays with personal PC, you know, then you have to have really good specs.
And the lag and the bullshit and the glitches. Especially as a PC player.
Yeah.
Oh boy, if the game wasn't like patched properly, the struggles you had. Actually, only game I haven't played that either for like over a month now. But the game that I've been playing has been Warzone with my like homeboys,
Why?
and I don't really play it alone. When I'm alone, I don't really touch the game. But with them, because you know, like I said, you get to play with homeboys.
Yes,
you know, tap that shit, bro. Why you doing that? Come on, man, cover me, man. Give me the bullets and so on. That's entertaining. That's like it relieves some of the stress to a
Yeah, for
degree.
sure.
Yeah.
For
But
sure.
then, other than that, I don't. Nah, except card games, board games, and so on.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that actually
That's
I'll be
different.
playing nowadays.
Yeah.
But that's a bit different. I guess.
That's like the
Yeah, it's more
local
Yeah.
like
I like
games.
you don't need to have any like electricity on it. or
Exactly.
anything. Like you just
Yeah.
and
Those
you push around, have fun, whatever.
those have been played like more, but
Yeah.
what about you?
I play. I'm going to be honest, but it's not like I'm playing because I have something better to do than anything else. But I play old school games. Like for example, nowadays I play more like Call of Duty MV3
Same.
survival, where what I do is I put an audiobook on.
Oh, he said multitask.
I put the audiobook on, I listen, and I play the game. And I do that because I don't want to listen to audiobook, for example, when I'm outside the house. I don't want to put anything in my ears because of the fact that I'm ninja.
Awareness.
I'm a ninja. And I'm a ninja. I cannot have anyone surprise me.
It can't be coming in my back.
How often has that happened, actually?
Never.
Never.
Exactly, because he
will
can't
never
be caught
happen.
lacking.
And yeah, exactly.
Can't be caught lacking.
Can't be caught lacking. And that's why I don't like, even when I'm like in a plane or in a bus, I have to be so secure about the situation that I am there in order to put the earphones.
Cancel out one of your sensors.
Yeah, I have to be very comfortable. But I don't know. Maybe it has like been instilled in me when I was a little kid, and then from there it just had been always like that. Because usually you hear first before you see.
Yeah.
Because your hearing is much faster than your eyes. Anyway, I've been doing that now, but then I also have looked, for example, new games that have been published. Like, for example, hats off to God of War Ragnarok. It published last November.
Yeah, decent.
And Spider-Man 2. That was published in the same
Spider-Man 1. Better.
Day, bro.
Hey, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, but these two games, I would say that they were good games. Like, it had like the good story behind it. It had the good gameplay. It had that creativity and puzzle solving. It had those things. But the problem nowadays with the games is that the main point is to win money. That's the main point. They don't do games anymore for the sake of great games or for the sake of great story or for the sake of gameplay. They do it more because can they profit from that? That is the point. And then from there, it starts to be like Call of Duty example. Like
Activision 101.
Like every year or every 2 year, every 3 year, there's the same mechanics. You cannot change actually the mechanics because you have to shoot, you have to move, you have to crouch, and you have to change the weapons. You cannot change that in a sense. In order to change, you have to also change the whole dynamic of the game, right? But what they try to change is the weapons, for example. But how you can change the weapon? The AK-47 is always an AK-47. It doesn't like...
Motherfuckers have like 20 variants of that same goddamn gun.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's the same gun. And it happens like that because they are trying to just win the money, and they take that, I would say, the already made platform that they have for that game, the gun, the gameplay, all that, and they make those tweaks for that specific game. Like Call of Duty, these Black Ops 3 and 4, they don't have that much of a difference from one another. What I've seen. And that's the main problem nowadays when they make a game. The game itself is not made in the spirit of gaming. It's made in the spirit of money. Can we profit it? Can we brainwash someone? Can we do some stuff that's not related to actually playing the game? And it's just sad to see that, but it has happened, I would say, why, like across everything. It's not just gaming. Like
too much woke bullshit in games nowadays.
But
I'm just saying.
But I have to pay respects. God of War Ragnarok and the Spider-Man 2, they were good games. That how they had been made in today's standards. Like, I understand how they can price that up in a sense. And now they're trying to make that new Assassin's Creed. I don't know, have you seen that?
The
Japanese version?
I heard the controversy and the great wildness that people have and thoughts about it, you know.
Was it? I have to say this. I'm sounding a little bit racist, but fuck it. Was it the main character in a trailer, Black Samurai? I saw right?
It was black character.
Why?
Don't even ask me. Actually, funny thing is that they tried to kind of like mimic because in history there was actually a black a guy in Japan.
I know that it was like
So-
darker.
Yeah, no, he was straight black. He was like,
Yeah, like
was
he
an
came,
African
from
slave that was
yeah,
brought-
slave. Yeah.
and he was like the one of the great like leaders of Japan.
Yeah.
It's like I would say assistant or someone like that.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like trying to use him in that character because remember in Netflix there was a like animated show about him, but that show kind of went off topic. But it was kind of like they were trying to bring it out. There was this black guy in Japan that was a samurai, blah blah blah, etc. But yeah, people are now flipping their shoes off because the Assassin's Creed Japan edition has a black main character and a Japanese female.
Yeah.
ninja type of shit.
That sounds like a pornography movie.
Hey, interracial thing, but to me, I mean, Assassin's Creed now I've like given up on Assassin long ago. The 2 top or actually 3-4 top games were the early ones. First 2 and Revolution, whatever. But those were the top. Nowadays, I don't care about because most of them have the woke bullshit anyway. But y'all, have y'all? No, quick question.
Okay.
Have any of y'all played Metro games?
Metro?
Yes, it's a shooting survival thing that is based on like Russia, after nuclear war, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I'm telling you, if y'all haven't played that game, y'all better you better tap into it immediately because
Alright.
those was one of the games that got me immersed into like all of a sudden I felt like bro, Ruski. Imagine a black guy, I start feeling Ruski all of a sudden, bro. But like Metro, I'm telling you, you better play that game, especially the last one, bro. I felt like I had a wife. Imagine that. I felt like I had a wife. That's how bad it was.
Damn.
Congratulations.
Hey, man.
Damn.
But that's part of the immersing yourself into the video
Yeah.
game. Like you're
Yeah,
the main
yeah.
character. That's how you know the game has to be done like properly to a degree when you can feel like you are connected with the character that you're playing with.
yeah. sure.
Not like
For
you're
sure.
just like from third person just viewing somebody doing something. That's it.
Yeah.
For sure. Like the good game that comes to mind right now is the Uncharted series. It doesn't have like I would say the compatibility where you say, okay, I'm like him. No, of course not. But you have more of like your experiencing that story that he's going through, all the hardships. But then it has also great those puzzle strategies, how to solve this puzzle that you are in. Uncharted maybe is the best one out of these.
Because I remember I used to play also a couple of the Uncharted games back in PlayStation 3. But it kind of reminds me of like Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider.
It has similar, I would say. Similar, but the only maybe difference is that Tomb Raider is
I mean, it has a fan service, let's say like that. Of
let's
course.
say like that.
Tough female character, but fan service as well. Hey, but appreciative, fan service.
Of course.
Hey, but to that, it's kind of. Have y'all played Elden Ring or Dark Soul series? Any of those?
I know those series. But
Jesus Christ!
aren't they like making you mad and depressed and take your life years?
Hey, but those games shows you the amount of dedication and also about the puzzle solving. You understanding patterns.
Yeah.
Because those games that usually tend to stress you a lot of times, they have certain patterns, but you haven't figured out them yet.
Yeah.
But then when you figure out, the game becomes slightly easier or achievable. Because I mean, you might figure out the pattern, but you still get fucked up. Because you have to improve your reaction time, your fingers, your stress level. Coordination,
man.
all that.
You remember in Slide 2, the last boss, Clockwork?
Yeah.
Do you remember
In PlayStation, the slide first or the second?
the first? I'm talking the second. But what happened? You have played, right?
Yeah, I do remember one time, long time ago, maybe a few times I have played Sly Cooper.
Yeah. Basically, in Slide 2, the story goes that the old Nemesis, the parts of it, people are trying to like put it back together. That was the whole Nemesis, the whole story. The problem was that the final boss fight was so difficult because those patterns you have to memorize every single one. You have to be very good at reacting. You have to be good at accuracy. You have to be like almost in perfect way of playing it in order to not fail. And it was so difficult. But then when they remastered it and they did trilogy where you had in the same CD, you had 1, 2, and 3.
Trilogy. All the 3 games in one.
In that series, that final boss was like you can beat it like this. And I remember, like as a child, I'm playing it. I'm like, man, I'm so frustrated because you have to learn all those things. You have to know how to do it. But now, if I play it, I'm like, psh, get this bum out of here. Get this bum out of here.
Hey, that's why I mentioned. Yeah.
Have you seen, for example, if you play the old school game, it makes like you feel like you are not as good as you were like a child. Have you seen that?
Oh, the frustration, I'm telling you. Because I would say like this. The older console, in a degree, also the latency. Because nowadays, if you have noticed, when games improve, the graphics improve, the like refresh rate, it's noticeably faster, of course, nowadays.
Yeah.
But before that, we didn't think. Because have you all tried playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas in PlayStation 2? That shit looks crazy nowadays when you look at the like.
Yeah.
It looks like how was I able to watch this shit? Like the graphics, and you can feel that the game is kind of laggy a little bit to a degree.
Yeah.
But back then you didn't think about it.
Yeah.
You were adapting to it as well. So I would say back then we were adapted to it. We were kind of adapted to it, but to a degree, every movement that we did had a slight lag to it. I would excuse to that, but skill issues anyway. But reason why I mentioned Elder Ring and Dark Souls and so on, I know what you mean about the Sly Cooper, but that game.
Yeah, I don't know but I know.
I'm telling you, Elden Ring. If you have played any of those games, Dark Souls and so they're the first ones. But if you played any of those games, bro, the piss off that you get, it's not even joke. Like Tekken, I've played Tekken, even the hardest difficulty, and it was you get frustrated too, but you learn the pattern.
Yeah.
But this game, I'm telling you, Beach Boys, this game got.
I know the feeling.
Like literally, every villain had a pattern. Yes. Duh. And the funny thing is, the first pattern is already difficult. Like,
Yes.
Especially because I'm the type of guy when I play a story game, man, I hate the max difficulty.
Yeah, let's go.
Bro. I ain't playing no games in no easy to trying to learn the story. Nah, I need to have the struggles in order for me to appreciate the story.
Well, if you want some struggles, have you played a game called Legend of Spyro?
Yeah, the dragon.
Eternal Night.
Eternal Night. I don't know specifically. Eternal Night.
That game is hard as fuck. I think it was at the 4th grade I got that game. Goddamn the rage quits. The amount of rage quits, I remember being stuck in a level, I don't know how long, but I remember each time when I didn't complete it, man, I had so many rage quits. My parents were like, okay, but you need to stop.
It's good to...
Okay, Simon.
Have you imagine when you're playing a game and for example, let's say final boss, or not even final boss, that's the worst part, not even the final boss. The boss, they have like few stages.
Yes.
Like, you finish the first stage, you think, oh shit, this was
yeah.
hard.
Oh yeah.
This was hard, and your health bar is like at the minimum. And then you finish him off at the first stage, and you're like, oh, it's done.
We got this.
Business is done. I'm good. I struggle a little bit. Then you realize, motherfucker gets another bar, and it's the second stage when the pattern becomes even more complicated. That's pretty much in small terms what Elden Ring, Dark Souls, and all of those games are. They have a certain pattern for the certain stage, and the pattern switches up a little bit more complex later on.
And what was the worst part? The worst part is that if you die, you start all over again. It's not like
you don't even start from the struggle that you finished off. You start from the beginning, and then you gotta do the whole thing again. And when your fingers start sweating and your thumbs start wobbling a little bit, and the shakes that you started having, I would say, those games kind of like train you to have patience
and hate your life.
And hate your life. Have those mental breakdowns, the healthy breakdowns.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, it helps you also understand patterns.
Yeah, for
and and complex like mechanics.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I said games. Games.
For sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Like I remember, like you said, I had a thing where, as a kid, like even if I didn't play, it didn't bother me in that sense. Like, yeah, I wanted to play, but let's say for some reason the console is not working, the disc is not working, and you have done everything. Like you put the Colgate on it, the Pepsodent on it. You have you have done everything that you can possibly imagine. It's still not
Spit on
working.
it, rub it.
Like, you know.
All those movements.
And you have done it all, but then if it didn't work, I was like, okay, whatever. So that I think, and of course, in later stage, for example, now I appreciate more of what they did. For example, like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is 2004, 2006, something like that.
Early,
Like
mid
early-
2000.
Mid 2000, but it's such a good game in that time. But even today, it's such a good game. Like how they have done it. Or, for example, Sly Cooper. Absolutely great game. Game. How they have done it. The Sly Cooper is in the same category, like 2004.
Slide 2, hands down. Slide 2.
And it's interesting to see that, I would say that way. But yeah, there are a lot of good things that you learn from the video games, and you have to appreciate the art, because it is an art. Can we say like that?
You
Sir,
can.
yes, sir.
And I'm gonna now jump to the other side.
Dark side.
To the other side. I'm gonna go with this. Why which genre of video games has been the most successful, the most popular? In my opinion, all the war games have been the most
Shooters.
popular.
Absolutely.
Shooters, hands
Agreed.
down. And especially first-person shooters.
Yes.
First-person shooters.
Now my question is why? Okay. Or what do you think it is? Because I have my own thesis about this.
Oh, have you written it out? How long
No.
is this thesis?
Oh, it's actually been pretty long.
I mean, about the shooters, it depends. Because I used to play those two a lot of times back in the days. So you remember back then in middle school.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, boy was playing more in the morning before I got to school. But I would say the reason why they're so popular is the speed ratio that they're being published. I know, as we see nowadays, Activision publish their game almost every year or every second year. So there's always like a new game to play and new story to find
And
out.
somebody trashed the Activision, right?
Hey, there's a reason why, but that's a whole different story.
different story.
Whole different story.
Anyway.
And, you know, especially Call of Duties had like a rapid pace. Because compared to, I don't know if y'all have played Battlefield and Call of Duty comparison and so on.
No, actually.
Both of the games are amazing. At least the older games were amazing and all that. But there was a slight difference in Call of Duty and Battlefield, that the other one was focused more on like a wider range of like battle. Like you had like distance to go to other one, and
Yeah.
you know, much more complex, much more closer to like real war.
Yeah.
And Call of Duty was more like fast-paced, you know, get as much kills, do as much what you need to do, and so on. So the interesting part about those shooter game was that it was fast.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted a quick fun. That was the thing you just jump on. You want that quick toxicity, you just jump into the lobby, that's it. That's it. So I would say the reason why it's so popular is one of the quickest way to get a quick entertainment and just hop out. After that, you just play one good game, that's it.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
in your opinion?
I think definitely they are. You get that quick fix in a way, especially if you're playing a group and you get that. Let's say that you're playing online and you're playing with your friends and you get that really awesome 360 shot, whatever.
Ooh, don't remind me, man.
Yeah.
No
Do you
scope, no
know- like
scope.
the
Do you
amount,
know-
the amount of status you get from your friends.
Like,
yeah.
if you did that, and especially if you did like a last shot where
Yeah.
Finishing cap move.
finishing cap move where they do the slow
exactly.
motion thing,
Yeah, exactly.
and you pow. Oh boy.
Good
But the question was, why are they so popular? I
Yeah.
think it's maybe it's has something to do because, well, in real life, if you do something like that, you will get in jail. But you get to do that in the video game.
But example, compared to like games like GTA, because those are kind of like similar. They give you the
GTA.
offer of
Need for
doing things in wider variety. Because
Yeah,
Need for Speed, for example, it doesn't have like that wide variety, but it has that speed.
that's what I was trying to say about like Call of Duties are like a fast pace. Of course, you could do much more in heavier dosage
Yeah.
in like example San Andreas,
Yeah.
the GTA 5, and so on. You could do much more toxic things or
yeah.
menacing things. Let's say
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
But the pace wouldn't be the same way because you had to log in, go actually
Yeah.
take your character to the location, want to do the stuff, and so on.
Yeah,
But with Call of Duty, you just hop in the lobby, just play, press play, match begin. The most generic game we play, TDM, Team
Yes.
Deathmatch.
Yes.
So you just hop in, press play, do your job, that's it.
Yes, sir.
But so that's why I would think Call of Duty is much more like popular in that sense because it has a quicker pace to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you die, when you die, the respawn time is noticeably like more. Like you don't die, you gotta wait in somewhere lobby and you lose all your shit. You die, you get back into the business and that's it.
yeah. I would say like that's definitely true. But I think like other reason is more about because we get like we said, we get to do those things. You get that quick fix, but also you get to do things you don't get to do in real life, and that's you get that validation to that side that usually frowned upon in real life.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
really. I think we talked about this in first season, last episode. We were talking about the shadow side.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like that kind of thing when you play war games. Nature of masculine is kind of you have that rough power, aggressive nature. So I guess if you don't have that, outlet in real life,
Yeah.
like playing football, whatever sports it is, you get to do that. You basically get to do that in video games,
Yeah.
like killing other people. It seems,
Oh.
but still, you get that rush of dopamine.
Why did you say my teacher?
Hey, but he's true. He's true. Because imagine the things that you wanted to do without feeling guilty or feeling like consequence behind it, that you have a consequence behind it. When you
Yeah.
get to do that in video game.
Yeah.
If you have a dick at school,
What?
I mean, like if you have an asshole at your class, you can imagine in the video game that you're shooting at him.
True.
He said that he asshole. That's a new type of BTD.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
I heard two things and I was like, hold on.
He didn't say
I
that.
heard PDD and PDD.
We have to defend him. We didn't say
Man,
that.
sheep, Richard. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Anyways, I think that's one part of it. But also, like, have you ever played a game called Turbo Dismount?
Turbo dismount?
Yeah,
Is it like a racing game?
yeah, racing game kind of. But it's basically what is the game? What was the? If you ever went downhill skiing, not downhill skiing, but you remember you used at. Hold on, what is a great example? Like it's basically a game where you get to bump into cars and make them throw out from the road.
But kind of like,
Like
a burnout.
Burnout. Oh, it's not Burnout. Exactly, Burnout. Actually,
Yeah.
that was the name of the game. Burnout. You get to kind of like what is the
That was fire.
Crash.
crash and burn and
Burnout 3 takedown.
Oh yeah,
Was
Burnout
the-
3
oh,
takes, and
boy.
that was the one. Oh yeah, I remember playing that.
The point of the game, it was there, but
Like, do you know what you get like if you complete it? Nothing. Like it didn't have like any achievement or anything. You just play it.
you just wreck
But-
what you needed to wreck. Hey, that was the
Yeah.
games.
But it
You
was
get
the
to
game.
release your
Yes.
inner like aggressive thoughts. Hey,
Yeah.
but have y'all played that Need for Speed Underground?
No,
Please,
No, I
bro,
haven't.
please.
Not
You
the
did-
first,
you
not
don't
the
have?
second one.
no,
Like you haven't played the classic of the classic, the BMW.
no.
I'ma show you with BMW, bro.
No. The one with BMW was
Most Wanted.
Most Wanted, but like Underground. You know when you could tune out your car, bro. That game,
I'ma show him because
man,
Dude.
Peter, you missed out. The most iconic BMW M3 GTR
Never heard.
only made
Maybe I have
310.
heard.
dude,
Bro, that,
do you know that I have a Need for Speed for my PlayStation right now?
Oh.
2 of them.
Oh,
Hot Pursuit and Most Wanted, the newest one.
I have
Ah,
played
knew it
one.
was
I have
one,
played
man.
one version of Need for Speed for for some time ago, but yeah, I haven't played that
Bro,
much.
the old school ones, man, things were going ham. Nah, don't show the new one. That was ass.
Of course not. This one.
This one, bro. This was the top boy.
You know this.
This car became iconic.
Like, I don't know. Can anybody see this? But basically, this one.
Yeah, now they can see the
Yeah.
good old BMW.
Good old
M3,
BMW,
M3.
silver blue, and there was that guy asshole who just
Razor.
who wanted the ass whooping.
Bro, but it was good times, man. Imagine racing games had stories, and you could like, hey, but we gotta appreciate those games too, because those games got us into the carring community and interested in cars as well.
My brother learned a lot about cars, and now he's actually a mechanic, from like video games.
Hey, that's what's up, and that's how we knew what car we wanted when we grew
facts,
up.
facts. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like it's like an outlet for that aggression that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I'm gonna go off with what you said and with what you said
What I said?
like why the shooting games are so popular.
right.
Of like contrast to like Need for Speed or GTA, or because if GTA was as popular as shooting games, do you think that they wouldn't release like every other game every other year something, or every year something? Like they have now GTA 6 coming, and first of all, great marketing, by the way. I have to give that props to them.
6 was ass. At least looked ass for me.
But what kind of, I would say, thesis or hypothesis
Oh, fancy words.
fancy word hypothesis
He's articulating himself all of a sudden.
I came about was the fact that initially the masculine urge is one of them is to fight, to conquer, basically, right? Because when you conquer, you have that, I would say, the power that stimulates that respect, that stimulates the way that you garner that status, right? And the more high status that you are as a man, the easier life you have. The more women you have, the more money you have, the more power you have. Usually it goes like that.
How many times did you have that very good, let's say, Call of Duty player, and he had a lot of women?
Hold up, I'm coming to it. Now,
Goddamn.
hold up, because that
How many
is
times you felt like you had bitches after finishing the game? Not many times.
basically I would say it taps to a certain biological thing that fighting plays. Because can we be honest? We have done that fighting thing for so long as humans. War, fighting, hunting. It has been somewhere where you have to put your life in the line and you might die, but you're okay because you're a man about it. And now, after the Third World War, after the Vietnam, after the Korean War.
Wait. You said Third World War.
Yeah,
My
Third
bad.
war.
Oh, I was like, hold on, my guys.
Second World War, because
Saw something that we didn't see. Goddamn.
no, well,
I missed out on history class.
Goddamn.
well, the Third World War is here, so buckle up.
Well, yeah.
But basically, those big wars that afterwards came about, like for example, the Vietnam War was like very publicized. The Korean War was very publicized. The Balkan War, but then afterwards, there wasn't that much of war where. Like it was, I'm not taking that away. That, for example, in Middle East there was war constantly.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro, don't take out Iraq, bro.
No,
They were having bad.
I'm not taking that away. But there wasn't like an outlet where every man is going to war. Like in many civilizations in history, we cannot deny that there was a big group of guys who went to war, and then there was those assholes who were in a parliament, in a safe spaces where nobody can touch them, and then there were slaves. This was the whole society of many places that were, and the guys went to war. Now it stopped because education came and technology came and all this, and when the shooting game came, it tapped to that war kind of state where a man could experience that kind of, like, I would say, masculine testosterone dopamine type of event, but not to take any accountability for it or any responsibility for it. It's like an ultimate, like the same thing as for Instagram thing, where a woman can show a booty pic and get thousands and thousands of likes and subscribes and all this and get a bunch of money, but she doesn't need to like actually message anyone. She doesn't need to take any effort. She's in a very safe space, I would say, in a sense. And because it became like that, many guys chose more that than go, for example, to a boxing gym or MMA gym or that kind of place where it's very close to that combat style of do or die thing. They chose a more comfortable way, can we say that? And the second one that Bahid mentioned so well is that fast pace thing where you can instantly, like the loading screen, for example, it wasn't long. Like you can just skip it and move on. You can hop on the lobby. You can start to play a game. You can die instantly, revive in like 5 seconds again. That's the whole mantra. So you tap into the very innate thing, and then you take also that dopamine effect where you have to be constantly on move and solving. And with those two, they became so popular. And like in any business, when there is need, there's also, you have to, I would say,
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. And this is my thesis or hypothesis for it. And I would say that all of these that we said are pretty close to what is the reality of it. Like why you choose a shooting game instead of like actually a game where you have to think, or the game that you have to solve a puzzle. Like sometimes you don't want to be that brute guy who just shoots and don't do nothing else, but basically that. And those have good implications to it. Like our friend actually played in the middle of the class. I don't know if you remember.
I mean, was I guilty of it too?
Do you know?
High school.
We were in high school, and I was sitting next to our same close friend. We have the same close friend, and he was sitting next to me, and he had a computer, and he had installed the newest Call of Duty game. Was it Cold War, if I remember?
Could be.
I don't remember which Call of Duty, but it was the newest, like 2018 newest. And he was sitting next to me. The worst part is that he wasn't playing like this. He had a controller with him, and he was
Lay back.
he couldn't do it like laid back like he said, but he had to take his controller under the desk like this, and he just watched the screen and played. And then watch the teacher for a while, and then go back into play.
Hey, funny thing is, actually, I was guilty of that too in high school. And the funny thing is,
that's like Zero Fox given second level. But
it was especially when you had a laptop that could handle games, heavy games as well. Why not? I had a gaming laptop, so basically I just put it in there, plug it in the wall, so it can have the most efficient power outage, and plug a controller in. Because I remember in Swedish class.
Oh, man.
Because a lot of us didn't really give a fuck about Swedish class. So we just, we're doing our thing. One of us were playing chess. One of us were playing card games. My ass was playing Call of Duty. Not Call of Duty. I was playing GTA. GTA 5 on top of that. Like, the reason why I said lean back, because I was the one who was leaning back. I put a controller in. I was leaning back. I had one of my friend, a female friend, sitting next to me, and one of my Iraqi friend sitting behind me. And he was like, "Hey, yo, my boy, what you play?" Yeah. Hold on. Let me. What was the question the teacher said? It don't matter.
Jättebra.
Yeah. So, in high school we had those situations, It was a good escape from reality, not gonna lie.
Like, it was crazy in our high school that people did that. Like because the laptops came at that time in schools, and people started immediately like watching shows, playing games, and then in college, you know what happens in classes, like
Netflix, HBO.
most of the people just play. I have played in college classes chess. I'm not gonna lie, and I was playing chess with the other guy who is in the next part of the class.
That's what's up. That's what we were doing.
You know what I'm saying?
Game was game.
I remember like in our 8th grade, everyone was playing Geometry Dash.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Man,
that was
the
that.
amount of rage quits. Fuck this shit. Fuck this level. I remember like every single time I would be on the hallway, there would be someone rage quitting or playing intently, like watching their phone and like, I'm gonna complete this, guys. I'm gonna.
Hey, but you know the phones were like you could hide the phone, but imagine the teacher pulling up while you have controller plugged in.
But you know there was a backup plan. We would have your pencil case. You would put your phone
Oh,
inside.
I remember those too, man. I remember those too. Oh, we had those sneaky ones. You know who like cover it a little bit with like pencils. So if the teacher comes, you just close the screen and it's dark, so teacher won't see anything much there. So it's
Or the classic that you would pull on your book, take your book and put it inside of it and pretend you were reading it.
Jesus. Oh, he has been very active listener. Take example of him. Then ask the question. What was it?
Yeah,
about?
What was it?
but for your listeners, don't take any notes, please.
Oh.
Focus on your studies, please.
Like,
I mean,
Depending on the class, if you're gonna be a math class,
I
maybe you should
mean-
listen. But depending on the class, like of course, if you study Swedish,
I
you gonna
mean,
need it?
some of us
Like-
still graduated. I mean,
come on. Are we really promoting playing games at the video?
I mean,
the
true,
class?
true. Take your education seriously, but you know,
listen, take it to a point where you have good grades. That's it. Like you don't need to have best grades, and you don't ever take bad grades to a point where if you can make a change towards like if you put a little bit effort, you get good grades. Like we had a system in Finland in high school and middle school. We have from 4 to 10. 10 best, 4 failure, and everything between. I think everybody can figure it out. And for example, if you get a grade from 7 to 8, it's a good grade.
you're decent.
You're decent, average. You don't need to have a 9 from everything, and you don't need to have a 5 from everything. If you have a decent numbers, you're good. Like I'm talking about it with the pure of heart. Now, what they have done, I personally have never been in high school or in middle school and played, for example, something.
Ah.
But in college, I have done that.
Ah.
And the reason why I did that is because if there is a teacher telling the students how to use a social media, of course I'm going to be like, what you know about social media according to kids? We are younglings. We use social media all the time. How can you tell us how to use social
It's
media?
almost like swim teacher is trying to show fish how to swim.
Exactly. It's the same thing. You cannot come and talk. Like, you remember the class we were?
Oh yeah, sophomore year.
Yeah. I was pissed. I actually was pissed because I was like, this bitch,
So this is why I wake up 8 in the morning for this bullshit.
this bitch is telling me, a man who has rised in the social media time, is telling me how to use social media. Can you imagine that?
That's what's up. That's what's up nowadays.
But yeah, in high school, people doing bunch of stuff. Once there was a biology class.
Ooh.
The guy pulled out porno in the middle of biology.
Oh man, hey, we heard a couple of those too, man. The worst part I heard was somebody beating his meat.
Oh yeah, in the middle school, yeah.
What?
That was
Somebody was
crazy.
beating his meat.
Biology class?
How?
No, it was a biology class. It was just
Which class?
no, it was like it was a rumor. I don't know.
What
I
is
don't-
it? Swedish?
No, I don't know
English
which.
something?
I don't know which one. but
That
it
was some tasty Swedish.
It was a rumor. We don't know. We don't know what
Specifics.
did that really happen or not because we weren't there.
Of course.
But the story started to spread that in the middle of the class, in middle school, like
Not
teenage,
in high school, in mid school.
not high school, middle school. High school was the bathroom place. In
What?
yeah, they had sex in bathroom.
I don't know who you're
In
talking
high school.
about and what you're talking about. But
Bro, they were wilding. they were wild in. I'm not just talking about few guys that we know. I'm talking about many females.
Hey, what you looking at me, man? I
We're talking
haven't
about
done
many
anything.
females. And
course.
I haven't done
I'm
either.
virgin too.
Yeah, I haven't done
Not you
everything,
too.
anything. I haven't done anything, but I had
Yeah,
a
of course
few.
you haven't.
For real, I haven't done anything in the bathroom. In that sense,
It's interesting that you say you haven't done anything in the bathroom.
yeah, because the high school had what it had. Like it had the, well, anyway. Well, basically,
Okay.
high school was different, but it were in the middle school, and the rumor was it was in a ninth grade, if I remember correctly. The guy in the middle of a class, he was
Beating it all.
beating his own meat, and he
Busted it up.
Just
just yeah.
Hey, what y'all say, just drag? Y'all needy behavior. Just say bust a nut or something else. Come on now.
Like, how can you do it in the middle of the class?
Hey,
and Swedish especially.
I don't know, was it Swedish or
I
not?
like-
I
like
remember
to
in
imagine-
Swedish because he was the classroom, if I remember right. He was in the the bottom classroom. And
I don't remember. I don't know what happened. I don't know where it happened, but I know the story. Because first of all, the middle school that we went, it was ghetto. Let's be honest about that.
Hey, come on now, man.
It was ghetto,
appreciate it.
and there was happening a lot of stuff. Like people were 14 and drunk coming into schools.
Game was game.
like it wasn't. It wasn't even a joke.
Hey, come on now. How did we segue
you
to
know,
beating
I'm
a meat?
I'm having second thoughts about your when you say that game is game. I'm starting to have second thoughts about it.
Hey, come on. It's game is game. What can you do about it? 'Cause,
So you come to at school drunk. Game is game. What?
hey,
Game is game.
I don't drink,
Game
but
is
you know,
game.
if you,
What?
hey, it's more like if you choose to do it, who am I to tell you what to do? Yeah, you chose to do it. That's on you. That's your game now.
Yeah.
That's why it's game is
It's
game,
not
man.
a good game.
But
Hey, that's on them.
that's all.
That's on them.
But
game is game.
basically that it was, and it was baffling. But yeah, more of the story is
Don't beat your meat in class.
don't beat your meat in a public space. Let's say it like that.
I mean,
Not in the buses, not in the school places.
hey, why are we advertising about me?
we're
big
not,
meeting,
we're
public-
not even advertising. We are telling our stories and then going to don't do it because
So first, let me get this straight. So we're talking about our memories about how we were playing video games, and the takeaway from this whole episode is that don't beat your meat in class.
yes.
hey.
But yeah, the whole segue went off, I would say, from because the experience is experience. Experience is experience, where you are just in the middle of the high school class and you know for a fact that people will use their laptops for something else. But then when you see someone is watching some series, someone is playing Call of Duty,
Hey,
someone is
hey.
someone is just on a WhatsApp on Facebook.
I mean,
was
that's just average behavior.
like
man.
average behavior.
But you know, having that good old gaming system going on, that's something just beyond my thoughts. Hey, but you gotta appreciate. Remember in high school when we had the chill room,
The gaming room.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gaming room, kind of like a chill space when you didn't have anything. You could go there, chill, sleep, play video games,
Oh, yeah.
or play like.
Yeah, it was
Bruh.
it was a small room, but it was a great room.
A lot of the stuff that we had there was donated by certain teachers. Example like TV, console, etc., and the movies as well. We had even you could watch movies. Man, every time we had those, what do we call jumping jumping lessons, jumping
Yeah,
class, or
it's,
kind of like when you didn't have anything in between lessons.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, everybody went down there. By everybody, I mean mostly foreigners or foreigner background.
It actually, like, do you know how it happened? Because I was maybe the first main foreigner who came there, and then it was you know who. We came there like first foreigners.
Oh no, you know who? I had to take a moment, but yeah,
you
let's
know
not
who.
mention it. Yeah,
And the gaming room was not there. The gaming room was actually
moved. It was
Yeah.
actually above.
yeah
It was
above, close to the library.
I remember that.
And it had to be moved because at there they were doing a renovation.
They made it into a library.
Yeah,
Library.
yeah. So basically, at the first year, this guy and other couple of foreigners didn't. They weren't still in high school. So it was just me and someone else who was like foreigner, who had still that ghetto. Like, anyway, Anyway, I'm not going to exclude what it is, but basically, very, very different from the norms of the Finnish culture. Very different. And the great part was that school was that kind of place where even if you were different, you were still accepted. That was the big mantra of it, and it was by far the first year and the second year was one of the best years over there. After the second, I would say in half place, and third year is just ruined because then the atmospheres change where people are just with them who are comfortable with, and that's it.
Bunch of bitches.
And
Translation.
what happened, we were moving the stuff because they will not pay anyone. Broke ass. And we were moving the stuff. We were moving all that stuff because we had to move somewhere. And the place became that like...
It was kind of like a basement type of place.
Yeah, basement type of place. And after the foreigners came...
Actually, not a basement. It was boys' locker.
Boys' locker,
yeah. It was boys' locker room that was used.
And well, you said basement because it was like
underground.
Yeah,
but it was locker.
And what happened, Puri, was that after the second year, the second year is started, but after the second year, also came other foreigners, and then the whole cultural thing happened where the foreigners are loud or
having good time,
having
bro.
good, like you know, the very contrast of the Finnish type of like being around.
Yes.
And when that happened, all the Finnish people just dozed off of it. Nobody like tried to even be there. And if the Finnish people went there, they went when foreigners are not there. That was the whole thing.
Nah, they might popped up here and there while we were wilding, check what's going on, and then got scared, moved away.
But basically there, and then we had some, I would say, some very feisty tournaments. For example,
bro, the games were going crazy. I'm telling you, like the games, it was a good release from like that student life for a moment. Cause, bro, when you got that spare free time, you go down there and your homeboys is like, let's take a game of Tekken. I'm gonna beat your ass in Tekken, and then you start that good old PlayStation 2, start playing that game. Everybody starts stressing. Everybody start getting frustrated. We had like tournaments between each other. We had like tournaments about who's bowling and who's.
Yeah, it was fun. The funniest thing was that who beat the guy, the next one had to come in his place, and the guy who beat just stayed.
You own that place if you beat everybody. Of course, we played other games like the table football and so on. That also we had money on that thing. We had money. You remember the bets?
Yeah,
hey,
of course.
€2.50. If you beat this game, €2.50. I'd step it up to $5.
But nobody paid.
Hey, me and Yusuf, we had to pay between us, man.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, but for example, someone else.
Hey, and that other person who we didn't mention, she also had to pay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, man.
We were playing, even Subi and those, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, we were playing crazy games, man.
Yeah, but basically that was the whole mantra. And it was interesting because I never thought that you could play PlayStation in high school or in school in general.
No, usually you couldn't.
Like you couldn't even in they didn't even promote it in any way. Our high school was that there is a room which is part for gaming or chilling or hanging around, and then people went there, played PlayStation, for example. It was great in a sense, but I must say, even in this campus that we are in, there is a place for VR, for example, to play.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, really?
Never been intrigued to go.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, I had to, what's called the Tyhy-päivä?
Welfare day.
Welfare day, thank
That's
you.
cool.
You know,
At work.
Yeah. Well, basically, I had to do a welfare day for the company over here in our campus. And the company, staff contacted me and they said, we want something relaxing. I was like, I bet, I got you. And they came and we had some games, we had some puzzles to solve, and then we had that VR thing, and I just experienced that in first hand how it was. And it was made pretty well. I cannot lie. It was. I have to give props to that. But of course, when when it is like this kind of college, they have a lot of money to invest in certain stuff, especially for technology stuff.
Oh yeah.
But the moral of the story is play games because it helps you in other areas. And this podcast actually is more of a promoting, I would say.
Yeah, we haven't gone to the cons yet, the dark cons.
Is it? It has been like that, right?
And we've stayed mostly in the positive side of the game.
Yeah.
We haven't touched
For now.
because the other side.
But the fact is that even this, it comes to moderation.
Yeah.
That you mentioned so many times, and basically, it's the same for everything else. If you overdo it, you have to pay a price for it.
Yeah, actually, today I was reading a book about philosophy. There's this usual notion that people might assume that what is good, the more you do it, it is better. Of course, that is not true. If you eat a burger meal, that can feel good, but if you overdo it, you're gonna feel like shit.
Yes. Yes.
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
And even if you don't feel like shit, there's something really wrong in that situation.
For sure.
If you don't feel anything in that situation, there should be something going on.
Like, I'm gonna ask you two guys. Think about, now we go a little bit off topic, but think about the best off topic in a sense. Like, this is the same. I'm asking you this. What is the absolute highest, best feeling that you have ever had in your life? And then think about if you have that same feeling over and over and over again, how bad it would be. Like, I'm not talking about, I know this guy has, for example, he has woken up and somebody started to suck him off. And and from there it was like,
So how do you argue now? Just a moment before you said you're also a virgin, so
hey, I don't know what book he been reading, but hey, that couldn't be me. That couldn't be me, man.
You know that woman loves chocolate. Let's go.
Hey, that ain't me. I mean, but about your question itself. Your question, I mean, like...
You don't need to tell us what was
hey,
the situation.
I'm not even gonna mention that. I ain't even gonna mention that. I'm gonna leave it that.
Yeah.
Empty space. Blank it up.
Space.
Well, kind of like what Pyrubi keeps saying about the moderation. It would be the same thing, you know. After a certain period of time, it might feel nice, you know, get that certain dopamine up, like, oh, this feels nice, etc., etc. But if you get it constantly, you become numb to it.
Yes.
And then after that, you try to reach for higher dosage of the similar type of thing. But your receptors, or whatever we call them, will not react to it the same way. So you might get it in a higher dosage, but in actual reality, you're just making it worse. You're numbing yourself even more, and you're bringing out even higher dosage of actually negative effects after it. So
So now we know that the more you do something, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be better.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What are some reasons why people are doing something even though they know it's not good?
I think it's more of that, I would say that quick dopamine thing, where in that particular moment they feel good, but then afterwards they feel so bad.
They want to feel good.
Yeah.
Why do people, for example, want to feel good at the situation? Why do they want to have that immediate gratification?
Escape.
Yeah.
Escape, I would say, literally, because let's say hypothetical. I don't know if y'all ever seen a video of this animated, kind of like a bird, having like a small dosage. It's kind of like a demonstration of small dosage of dopamine dash addiction to something. You know, something that gives you good off feeling. And then when the dosage, the effect fades out, the state that it leaves you on, and then how you begin to like reach out for more of the similar thing, and how later on the effects of it becomes like you don't feel that good so much. And you know, you might feel small dosage of goodness, but it's not the same as the first time.
Yeah.
And it becomes more of a, how would I say,
Norm?
kind of like a norm. And well, you know how addiction works.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes kind of like similar.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
without it, you cannot feel normal anymore.
Mm.
And with it, you don't really feel anything other
Yeah.
than normal, quote unquote. But in reality, your body is not reacting the same way.
Yeah.
But your mind is kind of like tricking you in that sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nothing to the purists.
Yeah, it was basically what he said. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
bird,
I got you.
but I know that affects goals like that, and I know that why they are trying to feel like that is that why he said that to feel that good, that instant gratification. Well, why you want to feel that instant gratification? Because it's easy.
Yeah, and they don't feel.
easy.
They don't want to feel something. Oh, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I have seen this.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Have you
sure.
seen this?
Yeah, for sure, I have seen this.
Have you seen?
I haven't seen.
So basically, this is a demonstration of like having that dopamine. The yellow thing is kind of like it gives off.
How-
Let's say in this context, dopamine drug.
How long is it?
It's. Let's
Yeah,
do-
because we can have a commercial break now. In the
As you can see,
City News,
it gives
we
high
are
of
giving
feeling,
you the most
and
opportunity
the bird
ways
is not,
of.
like reaching for it more again. It gives off a high feeling again. You know, the first steps you still have that high feeling, but then the effect starts like becoming different, and you can see the stress that it rapidly tries to reach for it now. And then it also starts showing the effects on the body as well. Like you don't really take care of your body as much, and as you can see, the bird is getting like out of shape as well. And the high is not as high anymore as it used to, but now it's kind of like necessity to keep on that norm.
Mm.
But yeah, for people who are wondering what we're talking about, is this video right here, you know, about, you know, bird kind of like, well, it's kind of like addiction, but also about something if you repeatedly use and abuse, how it affects you, and all of a sudden the abusing part becomes the norm. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was
Yeah.
like the video
Yeah.
that I mean.
yeah, and such as pornography, such as social media, such as gambling, drugs, the gaming as well can become like this, right? And I believe that we can save that part for next episode.
I
Yeah.
think because it's a big area as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
as we noticed with the pros, you know, you can like stack it up real quick, like
Yeah. Some
beneficial-
summary, like what is really good about video games.
Yeah, basically, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Why you should play them?
Yeah, why you should play them. You don't have an option to choose. You
Hey, but-
have to play them
Hey, but
because they're so good.
hey, be honest. The game.
There's no cons.
Hey, I mean, not so much unless you fuck it up for yourself.
If you do, I'm gonna be honest. There you go. No worries. We got this. If you do it in a way where it doesn't affect your life like other areas, it doesn't affect you going to school, it doesn't affect you going to work, it doesn't affect your performance in any way, shape, or form, it doesn't affect you going to training or being in a good shape, it doesn't affect you in the social interactions in a way where you are not like frustrated or searching for that dopamine, or like it doesn't affect you in a way where addiction affects you, we highly recommend, because it's the video games actually are like these other things. It's like a unwind thing, right? Can we say it like that?
Yeah.
Where if you had a long day and you have worked out and you have done all these things, and now you don't want to watch any football or any movie, you want to unwind. We don't drink alcohol, we don't do weed, drugs, stay away from those. What do you want to do? Let me put some game on, right? Let me play some classic, enjoy that nostalgia feeling. And I recommend, I do it myself almost on a weekly basis, where I play that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 or 2, where, and like I said, I put some audiobook onto it, where I listen to audiobook. I actually am now listening to Mastery from Robert Greene. it's a great book
Mm.
in a sense where he explains how people become masters of their craft and how that process will come. And it's a great book.
Robert Greene. What was it? 40.
40 laws of
48
power.
Laws of Power.
Yeah. Yes,
Have you read that?
man, that shit, man. If you ain't get scared from reading that book, you
Huh?
ain't understanding.
You have read it, right?
Yeah, bro.
You have read it,
I
of
have read
course.
it.
I read it when I was 17.
Bro, if that book doesn't make you question yourself,
You know, now
and I didn't question myself.
I'm gonna tell the last story about this guy, this thing, and then last thoughts and wrap this up.
Yes.
Robert Greene, I don't know, have you seen that guy? But he looks like basically a very harmless white boy.
Man, as a black guy, I don't trust no just harmless
Like-
looking white boy.
And when he talks with so monotonic tone. He doesn't yell, he doesn't scream. He has the same way. He talks very slow. Like he's unthreatening as possible.
But I actually have to agree with you there. Like, whereas he doesn't fluctuate that much with his tone, but he has that very eccentric way of speaking. You
Yeah,
know?
for
He has
sure.
that very
For sure.
smooth way. It's very seductive in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Uh,
got
I mean, like, he's very, like, if you would have that, let's say you have a salesman at the door. He sounds like that person that if he would say you something, no matter what he sells, you're going to buy it.
No. No.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, he has exactly that kind of
But
voice.
yeah, that kind of like kind of tone.
He doesn't
it-
have that.
but-
Sorry.
Yeah, but it doesn't have anything threatening on it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have muscle. He doesn't have he has glasses for crying out loud. Like he's the most unthreatening guy you can imagine. And when he made that book, Curtis Jackson, do you know who he is?
No.
Curtis Jackson, yeah, should be familiar name.
50 Cent.
Yeah, that's what I said. Sir, should be familiar name.
He contacted him. The Robert Greene said, "Man, this works. This is how the music industry works. Like this is it. I want to sit around with you. I want to have a chat. I want to have a meeting. Blah blah blah." And he was like, the Robert Greene was like, "Okay, let's do it. Where?" He said, "One of my restaurants." All right. And this Robert Greene pulled up to his restaurants. He went inside. All black people there.
Thug.
He was like the white guy with a blazer on. He was looking like from the movie, when the white guy goes to the ghetto and he's just a sad piece of work.
Hey, that's what we call Godfather. That's what we call Godfather.
But nobody could touch him because he was for 50 Cent. But last thoughts. I'm gonna start last thoughts this time.
Okay.
Hey,
Right? it was so positive of the episode itself. I'm gonna start off.
uh-huh.
Go ahead.
With a positivity.
Positivity. Hola, eh. Basically, I am unbiased with the fact that should you play video games or not, but we listed off what will it do if you play in a moderation. If you do it just by the sheer of like a hobby type or an entertainment type, you will have also different stimulation and a different experience, because we have talked about this as well, that when you watch a movie, you are feeling it, but you know for a fact that logically that's not real, that cannot happen right here. So, but you're still feeling it. So therefore, the game is kind of like the same. You have that experience, but you know for a fact that if somebody shoots you, you ain't going to revive again. Somewhere in the woods, you will revive again. Like, it doesn't happen.
Respawn.
Like, it doesn't happen. Or you cannot just put start in the real life and then
Pause your life for a moment.
like, you cannot do that. But understand that if you do it, understand why you're doing it and where you're doing it, and does it affect you in a negative way. And how do you know? Well, if it starts to look like an addiction, then it's a negative thing. These are my last thoughts. But I don't have any like good thing for this, because I don't have any like, I have experience, but I don't have that attachment, I would say. If something happened that we cannot play video games ever again, I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, who takes the next one?
Well, I actually have my own experience of my own. I actually used to, I could say I used to play video games even compulsively to the point of binging many hours of playing video games. So it really depends on why do you play. Do you play for entertainment, for socializing, or do you play to avoid some things? For me, example, in my case, I remember back in primary school, I used to be heavily bullied.
Yeah.
I lived in a very, very small village where rumors would run like wildfire.
Oh,
You know.
we know that, brother.
You know,
We know
so
that, brother.
you would experience that you weren't bullied just by your class.
Oh,
you were,
no, no.
you were bullied by your whole town of kids.
Yes, for sure.
Like that's how I experienced my bullying experience. And that sense of powerlessness because you knew even if you would tell your parents, that would change nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing would change.
No.
So what would you do? You would feel anxious and nervous to go outside because you knew that if you would meet younger people or your peers, they would be bullying you. So that was my experience. I would hide behind my headphones outside, and inside I would play video games or binge YouTube, whatever. So in my experience, I can say if you're being honest with yourself when you play video games, that's good. If you socialize with other people, I guess it can be a good thing. Can I say when is it a good thing to play or not? Maybe not, but I can say that if you're using it to avoid things or mitigate emotions, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we will be discussing that negative side also in the next episode.
Yeah.
Where I think you have more to say, in a sense, for the positive sides.
Maybe.
Compared, like, can we say it like that?
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh no, he's loading it up. He's loading it up.
Yes, sir. Last thoughts.
What? Yeah.
Last thoughts.
My last thoughts. I mean, like we've heard from all of us during this conversation, like gaming has a lot of positive things about it. We haven't touched that much about the negative that much. But if we just talk about what we have spoken during this podcast, I strongly recommend people to like enjoy games. If not much the modern games, enjoy the older games. Pick up the old Nintendo, the old Game Boy Advance, the PlayStation 2. Just enjoy the game. Because that's what really games are for you to enjoy them. And without us going to the dark side.
Both of you know that.
Oh, hey, those were the struggles that you had to go through in order for you to appreciate the game. Because remember,
Yes, sir.
when you put the game right in, you knew it won't start. So you had to figure out the tactic, how to get the game starting. Hey, have y'all played the Nintendo that had the cassettes that you like stop?
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, and the CDs.
You would take the CD and then you would rub it against your pants, or whatever.
A funny thing, people made a comment about it that actually it's worse. The scientists or who technician or whatever.
Scientists
said
saying
it's actually worse for the game for you to speed and rub. Any person who has played back in that days said, hell no. That was the way it worked. It worked. You cannot. Hey, I don't give a fuck who scientists go say none, but
you both know when you put like a PlayStation 2 and you put the CD on, and then when the opening goes,
the logo,
and you try to like not concentrate.
We did that too. When you don't put your focus too much into it in order for it to work, because if you pay too much attention, somehow the console knew you're watching it. Superstition. They were all superstition, but for some reason it just tend to work like that. And you had to like mind yourself. Then you saw the logo. Yes.
Then you were like
you played it.
You tried to like play it off. Like,
bro. It's good. You saw inside. Oh, it's working. Yes. Those were good times. Because like I said, it was entertainment. It was something for you to release from the day-to-day like basis. And as a kid, that was one of the necessity. If you couldn't like go immediately outside to play, tag games or so on, gaming was right next to it. The other option that you could do.
In Finland, for example, it was so cold sometimes.
During winters, man.
And think about, I was like born here. think about it, you came here.
Bro,
From-
I still have till this day Vietnam flashback from about coming here. Like imagine coming from Egypt, the crowdiest, chaotic place, a lot of lights, a lot of different like colors and etc. And then you come to Finland during one of the worst times. This is still to this day, winter is actually pretty, even though it's cold, it's pretty. But springtime, one of the worst times of the year, because it was gray. There wasn't any green in the like trees or forest or anything. It was just gray. And imagine as a foreigner, you come to Finland and you're like,
Was it like autumn or spring?
it was spring. The early spring. I still remember it was April.
Hey,
April, bro. It was horrific. I started wondering where the hell did we come? This looked like jail. Like, oh. But of course, after that, we got adapt to it, and it was okay. It ain't even bad. Summertime came in. Oh, it's actually nice. You see people. It's okay, so it ain't that bad, but you know. Well, yeah, that was. But yeah, off topic. I would still stay to the games. You know, play them, enjoy them. Like, don't take them too seriously, and don't. Of course, if it allows you to immerse into it, even better. Because I would say to that, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. If the game immerses you too much into it, because then you start like losing the sense of reality, and then we go off to the topic of the cons that I definitely know your ass has a lot to say about it, and I also have something to say about it too. But you know, overall, enjoy the games and allow it to improve dash. Boost up your imagination, because that's what it's gonna help you with, and also your problem solving and teamwork. Even though we know Call of Duty lobby, even Battlefield lobby, we know y'all, but we still got it working.
In the next podcast, I'm gonna pull that video and I will read the section that what they have told the guys that were like in the lobby.
Bro,
Be ready for it.
the amount of censorship that those lobbies allowed, bro, that was crazy. And you know what's the funny thing they want to do nowadays? Because as we have noticed about the woke bullshit that we got going on, nowadays they want to also do toxicity rating to games. You know, we have the PG in the games about like age restriction, etc.
Well, age restriction is like, you know
how old person can buy the game and stuff. But they also want to label the games based on how toxic the community is in the game as well. Yeah.
What kind of rating they would give to like MV2 lobby or a Call of Duty lobby?
Call of Duty gotta be a top 3 minimum. Minimum. Because Jesus, and one of those, I don't even know why they want to do that bullshit. But as we know, have seen nowadays, a lot of things tend to go south now because everybody want to be politically correct. Everybody trying to kiss each other's ass and what else? But yeah, imagine. What would you guess the ratings Call of Duty is gonna get from like how toxicity the community is
Nowadays?
I mean, nowadays it has toned down because a lot of people are giving up on, like, example, Call of Duty because of Activision and the money hoarding and, you know, bundles and whatever. Because back in the days, you remember, when you played game, it was more about achieving the thing with your own hard work.
Yeah, for sure.
But nowadays, most of the example shooter games are about pay to win. You know, you pay example for certain skin, which gives you a noticeable advantage in like certain like gaming areas and so on. So, man, but let's leave it in a positive note. Enjoy your games, man. You know, pick up the old cassette, old whatever Mario Dash or etc. Just put it on, play it on, enjoy your life, man. Cause I miss those parts. I'm kind of like same as Idel. I don't play that much anymore, and I kind of feel bummed out about it that I don't play, but I don't see it as a necessity right now because of my life situation. But yeah, those were good times. So enjoy it if you have it right now. Enjoy it while you can.
Yes, sir. Last thoughts. Done. Thank you for watching or listening. Show some love for this podcast. Press the subscribe button. Press the like button or dislike button. Tell what you think about in the comments. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And we will see you in the next episode. Peace out.
Peace.